A private AI company is closing in on a $900 billion valuation. Elon Musk just admitted in court that Grok was trained on a rival's model. And Google DeepMind wants to put an AI in the room with your doctor. Here's what it all means. Today, we have three stories that cut to the core of where AI is right now. The money flowing in, the legal battles forming, and the real-world deployments beginning. We're covering Anthropic's staggering new valuation, Musk's courtroom confession about how Grok was built, and DeepMind's push into clinical medicine. Let's get into it. Anthropic, the company behind Claude, is reportedly fielding multiple preemptive investment offers that would value it somewhere between $850 billion and $900 billion. The potential raise is $50 billion. Let that land for a second. This would make Anthropic one of the most valuable private companies ever created, and it's only a few years old. For comparison, Ford Motor Company, which has been building cars for over a century, is worth less. So what's driving this? Investors aren't just betting on Claude being a good chatbot, they're betting that whoever controls the frontier model layer controls the economic infrastructure over the next decade. Anthropic has positioned itself carefully, safety-focused, enterprise-ready, and increasingly embedded in critical workflows. That positioning is paying off in a way that pure capability races can't fully explain. The $900 billion number isn't just a valuation, it's a statement about what the market believes AI is worth at the foundation layer. Whether that belief is rational is a separate question, but the capital is real and it's moving fast. In court testimony, Elon Musk confirmed that xAI used distillation from OpenAI's models when training Grok. Distillation, for those unfamiliar, is the process of training one model on the outputs of another, essentially using a more powerful model as a teacher. It's technically legal in many contexts, but it sits in the gray zone that frontier labs have been fighting over aggressively. OpenAI, Anthropic, and others have all moved to restrict how their outputs can be used, specifically to block this kind of knowledge transfer to competitors. What makes this testimony significant isn't just the admission itself, it's that it happened in a courtroom. That means it's on the record. And every major AI lab's legal team is now paying close attention to how this case proceeds, because the outcome could set a precedent for what counts as fair use in model development. If courts decide distillation constitutes copying, the entire ecosystem of smaller, cheaper models that train on big model outputs gets legally complicated overnight. This is one of those stories that looks narrow but has industry-wide implications. Google DeepMind has published new research on what it calls an AI co-clinician, a system designed not to replace physicians but to work alongside them in real clinical environments. The framing matters here. DeepMind is being deliberate about the word co-clinician rather than AI doctor or diagnostic AI. That's a strategic choice that signals both caution and ambition. The research outlines a model for AI-augmented care where the system assists with diagnosis, triage, and treatment planning while keeping a human clinician in the loop. Healthcare is one of the highest stakes domains AI can enter. Errors have direct consequences for human lives, regulatory scrutiny is intense, and trust from practitioners takes years to build. DeepMind knows this. The careful language, the emphasis on augmentation over automation, and the publication as research rather than a product launch all suggest they're playing a long game. This isn't a product you can download today. It's a research direction that tells us where one of the world's best resourced AI labs thinks clinical medicine is heading. And the direction is clear. AI in the exam room, working with doctors, not instead of them. Pull back and look at these three stories together and a clear picture emerges. You have unprecedented capital concentrating around a handful of frontier AI labs. Anthropic alone potentially worth nearly $1 trillion. You have a legal system beginning to grapple with how these models were actually built and whether the shortcuts taken along the way were legitimate. And you have those same labs carefully, methodically pushing into domains where the stakes are as high as they get: human health. What connects all three is a single underlying tension: the gap between how fast AI is moving and how ready our institutions are to handle it. Investors are racing to place bets before the rules are written. Courts are being asked to define fair use for a technology that didn't exist when most IP law was drafted. And hospitals are being asked to trust systems that are powerful but not yet fully understood. None of this means AI is heading off the rails. It means we're in the phase where the technology has outrun the frameworks, legal, regulatory, and social, that are supposed to govern it. That's not unusual for transformative technology, but the speed here is different. The capital here is different. And the domains, finance, law, medicine, are ones where getting it wrong has real consequences. That's the story underneath today's headlines. So here's a question I want you to sit with. If a court rules that distillation counts as copying, does that slow down the entire AI ecosystem, or does it just slow down the challengers? Drop your take in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want sharp, no-hype AI coverage every single day, hit subscribe. We break down what matters and skip what doesn't. See you tomorrow.